I have you now.
Welcome back. Cuts Tech Reviews 2018 still. Funny enough, it's now the 5th of Jan. Really is becoming one a day. Let me do some specs of what we're going to review because I know you people love specs. We're going to review the DJI Osmo, by the way. Still photography and video photography, but it's got a gimbal. Why would you want it for still photography? If you're going to take still shots, yes, it does 4K and it does take beautiful 4K shots. But if you want to do still photography, buy a proper camera. There's plenty of cheap cameras out there that do 4K. You don't need to buy one of these. These are retailing at about 300 English pounds, so it's a lot of money for just 4K photography. This is what it looks like. As I said before, let's do some specs on it. 12.76 megapixel sensor. It has video shooting of modes MP4 and MOV. Maximum still image resolution is 4000 by 3000. And still photo modes, let's go through them. So the still photo modes, don't need the case anymore. Still photo modes will be burst mode, interval mode, panorama mode, selfie mode, and time-lapse mode, which I don't know about time-lapse because it's got to be a short period of time. You're not going to stick that somewhere, start shooting in time-lapse mode, and walk away for an hour, come back and see how it's doing, because trust me, if you live where I live, this won't be here anymore. Also, let's do the video modes while we're here. It'll shoot 60 frames per second at full HD. Now that is the slow-mo stuff. Basically it means that once you've shot it at 60 frames per second, you can slow it down by half speed and it's still at 30 frames per second, which is what normal TV and video is. But of course it's moving half as fast, so effectively it's a slow-mo. It will shoot in C4K, which is the 4096 by 2160. It obviously shoots 4K with 3840 by 2160. 2.7K it will shoot. As far as storing your images and your video, there's a little slot on the side here. It goes in here. I'm not really going to get that on very well, so what I'll do is I might put a little picture up in the top corner there for you to see. But yeah, there's a micro SD slot. It stores it in there. That micro SD slot, by the way, I think has a maximum of 64 gig. I haven't tested it. I do have some bigger ones. I should test it. On the Osmo website, though, it does, on the DJI website, on the Osmo page, it says 64 gig is your max. I mean, take it or leave it. That's what it is. Comes with a flexi mic, which looks like this. It does have an onboard mic, but the onboard mic does pick up a lot of wind, etc. if you're outside. So it comes with this, which is, I don't know if it's great or not, to be honest with you, but it just slots in the front microphone slot like that. Now it just looks like, I'm not even going to say because you know what I'm thinking. So anyway, so that if you was interviewing people, you could, so what do you think of the current election status? And they can talk, and this is going to pick it up with less wind. That's the theory. At least I think that's the theory. This here is the part that you use as your phone as a viewfinder. You put your phone in there. It's got these little elasticated things. You spin these around so it fits most model phones. In it goes for the bigger phones, smaller phones, and yeah, it's nice. And you don't need to put your phone in to use it though. Let's be sure of that. If you're in a hurry, don't bother with the phone. I'm going to just bolt that to there for now. So it's got a lens cap on at the moment, but here was the microphone slot. Front trigger. If you point at something, pull that front trigger, as you move your hand, the lens will stay pointing in the same location. That's the idea behind it. This obviously is the Zen Muse X3, which is the cheaper of the two. The X5 is a lot more money. Battery life, 60 minutes of video. That's quite a lot. It's for 4K anyway. If it was just in sleep or standby mode, you're going to get about 6 hours out of it, which isn't bad. Isn't bad at all. Other buttons on here. There's a big black button here, which I might pop up a little photo at the top there. I don't know why I'm looking. I haven't done it yet, but it will be of this little front panel. So the big round one at the bottom is for taking still shots. The black bigger one above that is actually like a thumbstick on your PlayStation controller. It moves in all directions, and that controls the gimbal head moving the camera around. So you can keep your camera hand still and still move it and pan and follow, moving the camera. This is a record button, obviously not much use to me right now, and on the side is the on-off button. Now I've switched it on, which was probably a mistake, so I've switched it back off, because before you switch it on, what you want to do is you want to pull this little lever down, push this little lever up, should I say, so it spins more freely. Then you need to turn the camera to break it from its fixed location, which is like that. You probably can't hear it. Let me get near the mic. Did you hear it? Don't know. But now it moves a lot freer than when it was locked. Yeah, you get it. And then this central bezel here, this goes forward like that. Then let's take the lens cap off so you can see the actual camera lens. So then when you switch it on, oh, look at that. It's ready. Now you see, when I spin the handle, the head won't follow it as quickly because it's got a gimbal for stability. Look, see? It's like a Steadicam. I move it fast, it's going to struggle. So like I said before, you can point it at something and then you can move it around that and it stays focused on it. It's pretty cool, right? There is some noise coming from the fan. However, I've found that when I start recording, that fan doesn't operate. Well, it hasn't for me. So that it doesn't, you don't get that sound on your recording itself. There's battery indicator and an on indicator here at the back. Just so you can see that trigger movement again. It's lovely, isn't it? And side to side. 4K video is brilliant. I'm going to put some samples on in a minute, and I'm going to slide in a picture of me and my family on holiday. Let me switch this off because it's so noisy when you're not recording. Me and my family on holiday. I'm going to slide that in a minute. I'll also put in some stills. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a big fan of stills for a camera like this because you can't say to smile and bang. You can say smile and bang, but it just seems weird. People expect you to do this or get your phone out and do this, but it's possible to do it. Battery change compartments at the bottom. You just pull it out, flick the little switch, pull the tab. It's a handy little tab. You get a couple of spare of them and you'll be all day shooting to your heart's content. So first impressions, well, I say first impressions, I've actually had it, as I said before, I've took it on a family holiday. I love it. I do love the quality of the images, I do love the stability of the images, and I've always wanted a gimbal for a camera because I don't like the shape, the lens shape. When you're walking and filming, filming someone, if you're not using one of these, there's the dum, 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 dum of your steps, your vibration. You don't get that with this. It's almost like it's a drone following them, lovely and smooth. And if you haven't seen it in the example yet, I'll put it back up again if you have. It's brilliant, it really is. The other things I'd like to run over with you are cost. Some people might say that £320 is a lot of money. It is, but this is a 4K camera with a built-in gimbal. But it's not as small as a little compact. So when you pack this stuff to go, you've got to make sure you've got room for it. You're not putting this in your pocket. Look at the size of it. It's not going in your little top pocket there. It's going to be an inconvenience, really, unless you planned to be shooting some photography. You think, I need my Osmo. I need to be filming some good stuff. Other things I've found with it are the setup mode is a little long, as you might have seen there. The everything from pulling that down to slit back in place, back in place, back in place, open up, get it undone, back in place, and then do it up once it's in there. Righty tidy, don't forget, we're not in Australia where it might be lefty tidy. It's probably not, it's probably still righty tidy even in Australia. I love it, and for me it was worth buying, but for 320 English pounds It's a lot of money, isn't it? Put some comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you liked it. Give me some questions on what you'd like to see, what pitfalls you think you might encounter with it, so I can answer them and say, actually, no, you won't, or you will encounter these pitfalls. You know, there's no pitfalls going through security at the airports. It's in the box, you just get it out. What I have bought here by a company called Niwa, which is like a little Chinese company, is some filters. So you can buy these little filters that you stick on the front for different effects, like cinematic effect, or, you know, warmer light, etc. There's the usual things you have filters for. Failing that, I'll see you on the other side.